So I want to show you guys how this one candle is made up of many candles. So I want to just literally this one down candle here. Ignore everything else before it. I just want you to look at this one candle. I'm going to highlight this point, which is what?
High.
And I'm going to highlight this point, which is what?
The low.
Low.
All right. How much data is inside of this candle?
6 months.
About 6 months worth.
What's
All right. So, well, not even technically because it's
Yeah.
a couple days, but anyways, right now this is for the occupying of 6 months, but that's not what has happened so far. It's because the 6 month candle just started and it's only a couple days into it. It started in July actually, so I'm able to actually see the same candle if I go to the 3 month and the monthly, because that is how much time has happened so far. It belongs to this month, July. So then when I go to the weekly is when the picture actually starts to change. So I want you to actually notice that you don't see any other candles from 6 month, 3 month, monthly. You don't see any other candle other than this one candle, right? Between
Right.
that high and that low. Now watch what happens when I go to the weekly. Now that I'm going below where this data is actually a slave of. Watch this. See how I have multiple candles within that high and low? But I had one candle on the monthly, the 3 month, and the 6 month. Because the 6 month has 5 more months to play out before it actually prints. And the 3 month is within that. And in July started this new quarter, this new 3 month period. And it started in this month, which is the month that we're in. And we have 14 days left before this candle prints. So now from here, since actual time has already spanned within inside of this month, that's when you actually see more data start to emerge. The deeper we go, now we start to see more candles. Deeper we go, more candles. Deeper we go, more candles. 5-minute chart, so many candles. But if I go to the monthly chart, it has been reduced or simplified to one bar. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. So if I were to highlight from that high down to the low, this down movement right here, everything now that I just shaded is it belongs to this one candle. Okay? All the highs and lows that you're about to see belongs within inside of this one single candlestick. That is such a powerful thing to understand. It's going to reduce and simplify all of your trading. All of your trades are going to always be inside of one single stick. The stick is supposed to give you just a little map or a context of where you're striking. But yeah, everything, all the waves, all the formations, all the shifts and everything, the trends, whatever you see, right? All the takes and all of that is going to be inside of this one single candlestick. And that's important to understand. These 3 weeks belong to this one candle. These from this one candle high to this candle low right here all belong inside of this one candlestick. Does that make sense? How that's happening?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's really what's going on. Like when you go, let's say now let's secure it with the time. Let's secure the time window on that. And now look down. From here to here is how much time there's left. About 14 days left and 8 hours. That's how much time is left. And then this is how much time has passed in this month, 14 days, 16 hours. So it's almost like halfway through. And you can actually see that it's pretty much in the middle of the time frame. Does that make sense? That's why we can see that it's literally halfway through developing its monthly candlestick, its July candlestick. Right now, this is the month's high right up here, and this is the month's low. How can I tell? Because I've just highlighted the monthly time frame, and I got the lowest price point and the highest price point within that specific time window. So those two, though, the time and price is what shows me the monthly high and the monthly low. So then when I go to the monthly chart, those circles are actually on top of the month's high and the month's low. It's just that from down here, I'm just seeing more data that built out that one candle that I'm analyzing and that I have 14 days left of. But you see, I can't really see that on the monthly chart. I don't see how much time space I have left, but I can see how much potential price space I may have left. But that's about it. But when I drop into that time space, I can actually see how much time space, how much space of time I actually have in here. This is how much space of the x-axis that I actually have available for data to print to actually finish printing that entire monthly candlestick. Does anybody have any questions so far?
No, I just like the fact that this is going to keep us extremely grounded
In what?
in just the bigger picture.
I wrote a question down in chat.
Yeah, I ignored it.
That's hurtful.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, I don't, it was intentional. This man is crazy.
At least he kept the G.
Look, he's crazy. Look, I'll tell you why.
In all honesty, though, before today, I probably wouldn't have even recognized and realized like the 6-month candle, the 3-month candle, and the 1-month candle were exactly the same.
Yeah, they're exactly.
Like I would have never even really thought about it. I mean, on a smaller scale, I thought about it, but just recognizing why, the significance of that 6-month candle and utilizing those long-term projections, it can give you directional bias for a very long time. So you get to take advantage of something that only happens twice a year.
Exactly. That's what I was saying. Around the start of class, that beginning, that open, man, that was something else because I was like, whoa, this has never happened. Like this happened 6 months ago. You see what I'm saying? Like where the 6-month, quarterly, and monthly all line up. Literally only twice a year that happens.
Honestly, the weekly was lined up too. That's the crazy part. And it was like all the stars aligned.
Oh, and the daily, because that opened up in a specific day when that specific high or low happened.
All the stars were aligned.
Literally from 6 months down to the daily. That's something powerful right there. That only happens twice a year.
Wait, what do you mean by the 6-month and the 3-month are the same exact candle though?
When did the 6-month candle start?
6 months ago.
No. What month?
Like what, 13, 14 days ago?
Right.
Wait, no, 17 days.
What month did this next 6-month candle started? What month did it start?
It started at the start of this month, July.
July, right? This month started the 6-month candle, right?
Oh, I know exactly where this is going. Okay. The monthly, the 3-month, and the 6-month. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. So this month right here, this one right here that only opened like 14 days ago was the start of a 6-month time frame and the start of quarter 3 and the start of a month, which started on a start of a week, which started on the start of a day. And that happens like twice a year, man. That's like, whoa, how did all of them stars align? You see?
Wow. Yeah, actually.
So like right here, this 6-month candle, you see how there's only one candle here between that high and that low?
Yeah.
So it's going to be only one still. I'm going to switch pictures now, but there's only going to be one candle. See?
Yeah.
I'm going to switch again.
The same candle.
Still candle because we're still inside of this month. So now everything literally below this, that's when things change because everything right now is printing the month and the quarterly at the moment, which is all going to be aiming towards the 6 month anyways.
Wow.
Yeah, it's fractals, man. I'm trying to tell you, I'm showing you the layers of the market through layering time. Time is like a schedule organizer. It's an event planner. It organizes all the events. So that's why I don't know how you guys use your planners or your schedulers or your calendars, but they help you see time in advance in an organized way so that you could organize events ahead of time so that they don't catch you by surprise. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. So you can't just do day by day forever. Like you're gonna have to go up.
At some point, because it's going to be building something massive. And if you're used to just day by day and then the market just blows up and moves like 200 pips across 2 days, and you'll be like, what the heck is going on? And it's random. Oh, Black Swan. Oh, news, this and that. And it's like, no, it's just big bar, bruh. Big bar.
Edgar, if I could even add to that, sometimes I've gotten clipped going day by day because I'm not even paying attention to the week.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
the
then
week
so then the day hits a weekly objective, but you're unaware. So you keep trading in the daily direction when the week's objective is complete, and it turns on you at that point because you're not aware of a bigger objective. So you're not when you don't do top down on the lower time frame, things catch you off guard because the bigger pictures are now starting to take effect, and they start to manipulate the smaller time frames into formation. And it'll throw you off of where you're at in the smaller time. So that's why you need to start from the top, get your reference points, drop in, allow data to get to those reference points, and then interact with the market. That's how you do it. But the fact that it's money and you just want to get in and make money doesn't allow you the patience to allow the moves to develop. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When we don't understand what we're even looking for, we don't even understand what a good trade is. We just want to get in. I just want to put in a standard lot. I want to see the blue $1,000 tickets on my phone screen. It's like you're tripping. You want to see good trade setups on your phone. That'll carry you to them big ticket orders on your phone. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this one candle now, everything inside of it belongs to that one single stick. So now it's a matter of just getting more information, more details on that candlestick. So on this month, I can clearly see the high and the low and the body currently. Right? So when I drop in on the weekly, I get a little more details. So I can objectively say, this is previous week high, right? And this is previous week low. I can objectively say that this is current week high and this is current week low. I don't
think we could disagree with that.
I can drop down on the daily chart. I can see the current week's high and low is actually the current day's high and low. Today is Monday. That makes sense. This is the first daily candle of the week. So this is the same candle. I should see the same exact candle on the weekly chart. And there it is. Because it started today, on this day. Therefore, you don't see any more days other than this day inside of the weekly candle because it just started. You see? So now everything is subordinate to this range as of right now. All right. So within that, you got the 4-hour chart. And then I get more details. I can see this is the month's current body. This is the month's current high, month's current low. This is the week and the day's current high and low. What was this one? The previous week's high and low. This is the current week's high and low. It's within side of last week's high and low. I can see that there is a little high here. So right above that, there's going to be little buy stops, and here as well, and here as well. I could just see them, the little blips there. I'm going to take this one off and just go above the up candles. It's easier to see. There you go. Boom. So like if this were the range of the month already, for the rest of the time that it has, I don't know, it could just play in here and fill these out. And then I don't find a close or something and just end since it was all exciting up front, it can be just closed off like this in the back end. But you see how I dropped from the top down, and I'm just getting more understanding of the current month as it is, but I started on the monthly chart. I saw the high and low. I saw the body. Then I dropped in and I got more information. I seen the current, the previous week's high and low, current week's high and low, current day's high and low, and then just more little blips here and there on smaller charts where I can find orders, buy stops in this case, where the market can move up and target. So if this is making the low of the month and it's trying to just bounce off of here and just go for orders, well, these are where the next ones are, right here and right here. And I can use that information to see if the market would throw out a buy signal down here and get me out right here somewhere. And then I gotta wait again, because if this is already the range of this month, then the market won't leave this range. It has been set. So it's all about either closing it in or stalling down here for a while and just like going up and down like that. Any questions so far? You see how we're dropping in from the top down?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's see. See the one triangle, and then there's 4 triangles inside of it that make up the one triangle. It's like the same pattern within itself generating the same pattern. So the concept of a pattern of, it's like similar to its larger self, kind of like a tree. A tree has a pattern. You have the trunk and like the big branches and the leaves. That's like a pattern. And it's cool because you got the trunk, and then it's the same concept, but it gets smaller. It turns into like these large branches. But then it becomes these smaller like sticks, and then these smaller twigs. And then it becomes like this leaf. And then you see the little tiny stems inside of the leaf that holds it together. It's the leaf is pretty much what the tree is, but it's the smallest unit of the tree. You can like see the whole tree in a leaf with the main branch, the side branches, and the greenery surrounding it. So the whole tree, you can see it in a leaf. The leaf belongs to the whole. It's a pattern of self-similarity. It looks like itself. It's kind of like having children. They all kind of look similar to the bigger pattern, the parents, right? So same thing with data and the charts and the candles. You have candles building candles, waves building waves, and they all look similar to one another, and they build each other out. So you have 4 smaller triangles here that are literally building the same pattern that they're made out of, the one big triangle. So that's why whenever you hear somebody says the markets are fractals, try to understand this concept. Like you're seeing kind of the same idea, but in different sizes and different parts of the market across different sizes of time and different sizes of price. Does that make sense? But they all coordinate together to build bigger pictures. They can't go outside of that. Everything has to fit organized, nice and tight and packed because of the fact of time. I'll show you why. Time is so organized. It's amazing. You have 12 months, right? 12 months in what?
A year.
12 months, 1 year. Okay? In 1 year, you have 12 months. Let me go this way. See, 1 bar, let's say that's 1 year. If I split that in half, what is each half worth?
6 months, 6 months.
6 months, 6 months. What about if I split it again like this?
4 months, 4 months, 4 months, 4 months.
Try again, because that equals 16 months, and that's more than a year.
Oh shit, 3.
So you have January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So that's your first 3 months, your second 3 months, your third 3 months, your fourth 3 months, or your first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and your fourth quarter. That all go into making the 1 year. See how organized it is?
Yeah.
So then each of those quarters are comprised of how many months?
3.
Holy smokes.
Is very organized. Time is very, very organized. So there goes now I should have 12 months. 1, 2, 3. There's my first quarter. 4, 5, 6. There's my second quarter. What's the numerical code for June?
06.
Oh, so that's why that's number 6 there. You see? What's the numerical code for July?
7.
There we are. We're in July. That's why we're in the next. You see how we just started the next 6 months?
Yeah.
So this is how I see the calendar. Right now we're over here on the data set. I don't even have to look at the computer, the charts to see where we are in the data set on the calendar. I understand time. If the data is driven by time, I study the calendar. I know where we are in the 3 month candle and the 6 month candle in the year, because I can see the candle like this. I understand the market like this in terms of time. So because I'm in July, I understand I can analyze the 6 month, 3 month, 1 month, weekly, daily. I can actually do that because I understand where I am in the calendar. I understand where I am in time. And time is fractal. So only when time permits me to analyze a certain time, that's when I do it, or else I'm wasting time. I'm not correlating time right if I'm analyzing it out of sync. Like I can't anticipate, I can't calculate a like a 3 month move if I'm in the middle of the first month of the start of a quarter. You see what I'm saying? I'm still trying to deal with that data set.
Okay.
So right now I already know what kind of sets I'm targeting, how much size I'm after, because right now we're building out a 6 month range, but we're in the first piece of it. We're only on step 1 of a 6-part mission. You see what I'm saying? It's 1 6 month candle, but I could see it in terms of 2 quarters or 6 months, individual months. That is going to build out that 1 6 month candle. This is the same concept that I'm going over right here. I just drew it over here. Isn't it?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Y'all can disagree now. Isn't it the same concept?
It is the same concept. We can
How-
disagree on it doesn't make it true.
That's true, but like how can you actually see that it's the same concept, even though I'm giving you literally a different drawing, but I'm showing you the same principle?
It's because you see that it can be broken into smaller components that make up the whole. And you see how the smaller components are actually demonstrated and shown, where it's broken up into half year, then it's broken up into quarters, then it's broken up into, months. But it's all pieces that make the whole, which makes it fractal. So it's the same exact depiction, just using a different, I guess you could say component of time.
Yeah, it's just a different format, if you would. It's a different display, but it's the same principle. The principle is what's governing these drawings and these display. It's to get you to understand how to fracture things, how to break things down. Here's another one. What am I trying to teach you guys? I'm trying to teach you how to understand what fractals are. You guys ever seen an essay or like a research paper?
Sadly, yes.
No, those things are great, man. Like if you really understand that, they're really great way to present arguments and like argue points and things like that. Good for communication but either way, so it's made of like an intro, a body,
And then
and a
conclusion.
conclusion. Yeah. But they all 3 individual parts
Make up the whole.
make up the whole paper. So like I noticed before I was giving presentations, and I noticed before I always had like weak closings. So I had to work on that. Before that, I actually had weak arguments, so I had to develop my body a little better. But before that, I actually had to learn how to create a good thesis to build out of. So you see, I always need to come to the foundations. What am I arguing about? What's the purpose of what I'm writing, which is actually not even there. So I actually need to start on the empty space. What am I even writing about? Then you start to see it fill in. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The thought goes out, then it builds itself out. That's how candles print out. The data goes out, and then it just prints along what it's going to already do, what it was already designed to do. Candles have stages, just like the paper has, the argument has developing stages. You have a thesis and you have supporting arguments, and then you kind of reinstate your thesis, but it's backed up with those supporting arguments, and it's kind of like a whole summary to say your bottom line, basically. So when the daily candle prints, or whatever your larger fractal is, when that prints, that's the bottom line. That's the conclusion of the whole matter. All right. And everything within it is what went into building out that whole entire pattern. So I gave you a term paper, I gave you a triangle, I gave you a square, I gave you a calendar. I'm trying to help you understand what fractals are. Because the markets, all of this, yeah, it's all fractal. It all is very cohesive. It all fits into itself. It's all building out one giant candlestick, if you think about it. The more I go higher and higher and higher and higher and higher, the more compressed it gets, eventually I'll get to one candlestick. I don't think it actually lets me on here, but I would get to one single candlestick. There's only ever one candlestick that we're all trading. And that candlestick will close when markets cease to exist. And you tell me when that's going to happen.
Never.
Cease to exist.
What'd you say?
I said when we cease to exist in this form.
Yeah, exactly. What do you guys think? I think that's all I got for Fractals Part 2, at least. It's still kind of an introduction.
I can't handle this hardware. It's just too complex for me.
Then you know what? I recommend you get harmonics or double bottoms, double tops. It's going to be a little easier to digest, man. You know what I'm saying?
I actually could never learn harmonics. Harmonics is not it.
Bro,
I never understood any of that.
I studied it forever. I thought I had the holy grail, dude. I could give you ratios all day, and it's like, but none of them really played out. I was so mad all the time.
No way.
I felt
All
so
that
smart,
studying.
but I was mad all the time. Like, it was crazy.
Like, what am I putting this time and effort into? It's
Yeah,
never playing out.
I didn't even think of that, because I was just doing things I was just playing around. I didn't have no purpose to what I was doing on the chart.
Honestly, I started to feel like Dora the Explorer, just
Exactly.
crazy.
You're supposed to feel like an explorer or a pioneer in your field when you're doing true raw data analytics. You're not supposed to feel like a follower or a seeker of people's validation. You're supposed to feel like a trendsetter, like I don't know, somebody who makes a discovery.
Right.
There's a difference between Dora the Explorer and Indiana Jones.
Yeah, there very much is. One got a monkey and the other one doesn't.
What?
That monkey on my back was everything that everybody else was telling me that was true.
Exactly. And man, monkeys don't talk and they don't wear boots. So Dora was obviously on something. She was not in tune with reality, bro. She had a talking backpack and a map. Like, this stuff is wrong, bro.
Where are we going?
Y'all messing up my outro, but let me reel it back. Do y'all understand Fractals Part 2 and what I'm trying to do and go towards and how it connects to Part 1? Yay or nay?
Yeah. Yay. When is part 3 now?
Well, that's up to you guys. Are you able to, do you still have the mental endurance to keep going? And we can close out the intro of Fractals and later tomorrow, I guess, start bar resolution, or we could stop now. Just wait.
I mean, we still got
Keep
some
going.
the video.
Well, I got 7 minutes, but I kind of want to finish with these 3 graphics on your eyes, and just finish with like a open table, and then we can finish out the concept before going into bar resolution. We can finish out the whole entire conversation on the next one, fractals part 3, or conclusion.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, we can do that.
Alrighty,
Nice.
well there we go. 7 minutes on the clock. Open table discussion. What do you take your time too? It might be a little quiet, but just think. Look at what I'm showing you here, and just get the essence, the point that I'm trying to illustrate through different graphics. But I'm trying to show you one concept. See if you can figure it out.
Could I offer another analogy?
Please.
All right. So let's look at like a book, right? So let's say a book in its entirety, you know, it has a cover, it has the inside of the book, and then it has the, you know, back of the book. And then when you look into it a little bit further, what consists of is a bunch of different pages. And then when you look into it even further, those pages consist of paragraphs. And then when you look into it even further, those paragraphs consist of sentences. And then when you look into it even further, those sentences consist of words. And then when you look into it even further, those words consist of letters. But as crazy as that may sound, those letters are put together in a certain order to build those words, which then therefore builds those sentences, which then therefore builds those paragraphs, which then therefore builds those pages, which then therefore builds that entirety of that book. That's fractality.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty good right there. You got the book, you got the pages, you got the chapters, you got the paragraphs, you have the sentences, you have the words, you have the letters. You have the letters that put together build the words, that put together build the sentences, when put together build the paragraphs, when put together builds the chapters, then when put together we'll show you the summary of all these pages. When put together, we'll create a book. So that was top down, bottom up.
Yeah. Top down.
Bottom up.
I forget the chapters, but thank you for filling it in.
I got you, bro. And then look, that the image that I did was I was showing you guys a graphic of what he was saying. He said, again, look, book, pages, the layers. You see, I went more in, there's more details. So I went from one thing to now 2 things. It fractured. So I went from book to pages to chapters. It fractured again. And then the chapters fracture those into paragraphs. Paragraphs into sentences, into words, into letters. You see how the more detailed I got, the more oh, this is cool. Look, you see how it kind of zooms in and out. That's how your vision got to be. It's like you're multi-dimensional. You're zooming in and out. Wow, that's such a good graphical display of what my mind does when I'm playing with the market. It literally does that. That's what it feels like.
Honestly, it's an aerial view kind of this at the same time too.
Yeah, you're seeing the fractured one triangle into many triangles. You're seeing this one square fractured into many squares. Multi-dimensional. So then we're coming out of it. We're coming off the letters. Boom. Those are words, sentences, paragraphs, chapters, pages, book.
Not only did that picture give you like the understanding, but like just like how you said, you know, your mind actually does that. It gives you the feeling. So like, you know, for people like maybe like me, you know what I'm saying, that hasn't had that real feeling yet, like you can start to develop that feeling or anchor that feeling so that way you can, you know, execute in a much better fashion.
Right. A lot of the times I try to implement the experience of something, which is very hard to pass on. So what I try to do is I'll use an analogy that has the similar sense of the experience that you can actually make a connection to, so that when you actually throw it over to trading, you can actually make that connection. Because if you never made that connection while trading, how are you supposed to make that connection? So I have to actually connect it for you using something you've probably have sensed and experienced, that feels the same until you actually develop the sense. I can get you closer to that sense that I want you to experience, which is flipping hard, bro. But I love that puzzle, and it's been really fun to do so far this month.
Nice.
July class for the win.
July class for the win, bro. You guys have the most up to date awesomeness. Like, this is really good stuff.
Yeah, it is.
Bro.
And it's cool too. I feel like I'm just on the passenger seat. Trust me, like some of this stuff is just coming through. I'm like, whoa, what the heck? So I'm learning right there with y'all. But there's about 2 minutes left. Does this pretty much wrap this up?
Yeah.
Oh, I feel complete now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good actually. Shoot, it might be just a two-parter then. You guys understand the fractal concept, breaking things down. Everything builds a bigger thing. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, you know
Bird's
what?
eye view.
That was Fractal's conclusion. We'll move to bar resolution intro in the next part, or just bar resolution part 1.
Let's go.
Sounds good.
Cool.
Let's go.